and welcome to this episode of What You Think, where we will be discussing the sixth episode of Marvel's What If. As always, you are joined by me, Momo, Mel, Fez, and Jang. And as usual, we're going to be talking about our negatives, our positives, all that good stuff. But we're probably going to be talking about other stuff because, as usual, What If isn't giving us a lot to talk about, except it's good. I enjoyed it. But besides that, I think we have two things that are far more interesting than this episode of What If, although I'll say I really
Yes.
did like this episode. So
Mhm.
let's do the first one on the docket today, if you will. We are going to be talking about the next show that we probably will be diving deep into, Hawkeye. Can we get a clap for Hawkeye? We got the trailer.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
God, my ears hurt. But yeah, let's dive right into the Hawkeye trailer really quickly. I'll get the ball rolling. I love this trailer, me personally, um, because I think I didn't expect this. I was thinking we'd get something grounded, gritty. Hawkeye's been through a lot. His family got dusted, all that good stuff. He had to sacrifice his best friend. So and especially all the Marvel shows we've been getting, right? Loki, WandaVision, and Falcon and the Soldier, they're dealing with some very heavy subject matter. So in this trailer,
Mhm.
it's very light-hearted. It looked very fun. I love the Christmas vibe. Yeah, I just thought it was a nice change of pace and a kind of a breath of fresh air. And I can't wait to see more of Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld in the show. And I think we're going to get a lot of cameos or unexpected characters such as Wilson Fisk. I think they reported that
Oh
he
damn.
might pop out. Vanessa.
Ooh.
Him, uh, and of course, we didn't see Yelena in the trailer. We know she's gonna be in the
Mhm.
show, so lots of fun stuff. I can't wait for November 23rd, I think. So who shall I pass it off to? Let's pass it to the one wearing an Ed Sheeran hoodie, Fez.
Wow, so much coming out. Yeah, I am so excited for the Hawkeye trailer. I didn't expect it that it would be set in Christmas, so I thought it's gonna be so interesting that we're gonna see it set in Christmas. And I love how they incorporated Christmas music in the trailer. I thought that was so cool. It made it look fun and it also looks chaotic in a good way. I'm very excited for Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld. From the trailer, it looks like they have really good chemistry. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited to see Kate Bishop, which is Haley Steinfeld's character. I'm so excited to see more female heroes in the MCU. We need more. I'm also excited to see Florence Pugh, as we already
Pew
mentioned.
pew pew.
Pew, 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 pew. My expectations are going to be quite high for this show because so far all three Marvel shows on Disney Plus, they've done a really good job exploring more of the characters and the world around them, and it makes us understand the character more. So I hope we get to understand Hawkeye more in this show, as how I would say I understand Vision more after watching WandaVision. I am kind of shocked that it's 6 episodes, but after learning from What If, quality,
Keep it
not
short.
quantity. Yeah.
Hey.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, we've been Loki. WandaVision was 10 episodes, but they're about the same length. So I think six of these long movies. I think the length is fine. Quality, not quantity. You don't need
Exactly.
some filler episodes that are devoid of logic. But yeah, next let's see. Monsieur Jiang, please simp for Haley Steinfeld
Oh
for us.
Yeah.
yes. No, I just like that this trailer is really light and there's like no pressure for Hawkeye. Like when like out of all the shows that were announced, like Hawkeye, most of us were just like, lol, why is he getting a show? So like I like that this show has really there's no expectation for some big thing to have. Like Loki was the big scale thing. This thing is just them with
Mm.
bows and arrows doing that thing. There's no superpowers, there's no multiverse. It's just a very nice light film to end the year. No, not film, sorry, TV show. But yeah,
They
it's
feel
I
like
just
movies.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah, it does feel like movies. Yeah, the production quality is like movie
Yeah.
level.
Mhm.
So like yeah, I'm really happy that it's nice and light and just want to see what happens. Of course, I like Haley Steinfeld. Yes, of course.
Mm.
But yeah, I have no like big expectation for something mind blowing to happen. I'm really just
Mm.
open minded. Whatever happens, let's just have a nice show to end the year. Yeah.
Mm.
How about you, Mel? Round us off with your thoughts.
Coming from someone who said earlier that I wasn't really as hyped for the Hawkeye show, but after watching this trailer, I am definitely going to watch it. I like Fez. I kind of have high expectations for it, but at the same time, I don't feel like there's a lot of pressure for this to be as great because I'm literally just watching it as kind of like a feel good show to end the year with, and I just really liked how that it's Christmas themed. And I don't know, for me personally, I've never really gotten a lot of Hawkeye's personality in the past because he's always just been that one Avenger that's just in the team. And we're just like, okay, cool. So he's the guy with the bow and arrow. But I'm really excited to really see him bring his own flavor to the table because I don't think we've seen that a lot. And I feel that the addition of Haley Steinfeld, that's really going to help really give him a bit of spice. And I really look forward to it. I simp over Haley as well. Loved her in The Edge of
Mm.
17. I
Oh
love,
yes, good movie.
and honestly, I can't wait to see her interaction with Florence Pugh's character because I feel like you're going to have two very sassy girls on screen. Really looking forward to that. But yeah, it's going to be something completely different for Hawkeye. I'm really looking forward to it.
Mhm.
I just have two things. The first thing is we've all talked about we kind of like the light-hearted, feel-good nature of the trailer, but do you guys think the actual show is going to be much darker than they are letting on? Because Hawkeye
Ooh.
actually is dealing with a lot of things at the moment. What do you guys think?
For
What do you think?
sure.
Yeah.
No, after like the opening, the Rogers musical, like after I saw that poster on the Rogers musical, I was like, this show is not gonna this ain't gonna go that dark. Like if they do go dark, it's not gonna be like depressing, it's just gonna be like, oh, that's sad. But then we continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't necessarily about the plot in specifically, but I remember the first shot when we saw Hawkeye, and you just see how his face has aged so much since the early days of
Mhm.
Marvel. I think that really got me, and I'm just like, I want to give this man as much support as I can because I love him. Yeah, more than I actually thought I did.
Okay, trivia question. I had another one, but I'm gonna add this sandwich this one in between. Can anyone tell me what was the first movie that Hawkeye appeared in?
Thor.
Good.
Girl, you're
I
fast.
was hoping someone would trip
Oh,
up and say the Avengers. No, I'll be like, no, 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 he was in the
oh
shadows.
no.
Good job.
No, no, no.
Well
I
done.
know my shit.
I
Good
I
job,
knew
Fez. You don't.
definitely not the Avengers, but wow.
You
Fez.
may not know who
Ooh.
Kurt was, but well done. And another thing I'd like to point out, I believe Hawkeye is the only MCU hero not to get a solo film. I mean, sorry, or
Oh.
the core Avengers, I should say. He's the
Yeah,
only
yeah,
one to
you're
not
right.
get a solo film, although Scarlett Johansson didn't get paid for that. Hey-oh. And the next thing I'd like to point out is, did you guys know that Jeremy Renner had an app?
Oh yeah. Like
Oh
he
yeah,
tried to do his own
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Instagram,
you all
right?
know.
But failed completely.
Mel, do you know this is the Jeremy Renner app?
What on
It basically was a
earth?
Instagram ripoff. You could connect with him. But it's really bizarre. I guess that's the only way to put it. But Hawkeye aside, let's move into a movie that's actually that's actually playing in a lot of screens across the globe, except Malaysia, although the cinemas are opened, but they decide to push it to the 7th of October for really stupid reasons. And one person in our panel here has actually seen the Shang Chi, the Legend of the Ten Rings. So I'm going to pass it over to Fez to give a little quick review of Shang Chi. Is it good? Is this the film we've been waiting for? As Asians, I should say. Please, you have the floor.
It's my segment now. Move, guys. No, I'm kidding. All right, Shang-Chi. It was actually a really, really, really good movie. I felt like the Asian representation was done really well from all the characters and even showing the culture. And I love how most of the time they're speaking in Chinese, which is amazing. Like you
Really?
get,
How many percent?
Oh.
I would say like 45%.
No,
I'm not
seriously.
kidding. Yeah, they spoke in
That's
Chinese.
insane.
It's
Good.
amazing
Very
though because
cool.
it
Wow.
really shows the authentic like Asian culture, which I really like. And because of that, along with other amazing things, it didn't feel like a Marvel movie. Like it really did embrace being the Chinese action drama movie with the slow motion. There's a lot of slow motions. There's a lot of slow motions, and most of the fight scenes are martial arts, which is so refreshing to see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I do like in this movie that they want to explore everybody, every side character's struggle and backstory. But because of that, I like that. But because
Mhm.
of that, this is why it was so close to being a perfect movie for me, because as they tried to focus every other character, they forgot to focus on the one character, which is the main character itself,
Mhm.
Shang-Chi. I felt like if they added more scenes to understand Shang-Chi as a person as well as his personality, I will understand him more and who he is, and also maybe if we showed more scenes of him and understand him, it could emphasize the message more of how you shouldn't run away from responsibilities or be your own person. There was a lot of world building in this episode. If they just remove the world building, it would be a perfect movie. The acting was great, as always. The acting was really, really good.
Who
Everyone
was
was
the standout?
perfect. Simu Liu and Tony
Okay.
Leung. Those
Okay.
guys were amazing. Everyone was casted
He's really
perfectly.
hot.
He
Tony Leung,
is.
I mean.
Everyone
Not
was
Simu Liu, Tony Leung.
Oh, Tony
Yeah.
Leung. Yeah, I think it's also meant for everybody because I didn't know who Tony Leung was until like my mom was like, "Do you know Tony Leung is in that new Marvel movie?" I'm like,
He's
"Oh no,
very
I don't know who he
famous. Not in
is." But
Hollywood, yeah.
I think like anyone can watch it. The fact that people knew who the actor was in like other genres besides Marvel, I think it'll be a great movie for them. And yeah, the comedy was mostly good. The main person who stole the comedy is the Mandarin.
Aqua?
Oh my god,
Oh!
he was the opposite.
Oh.
If
You
you
mean
guys,
Trevor Slattery, right? Not.
yeah, yeah. If you watched him in Iron Man 3, he was like so like
Hello,
serious.
Whack.
Trevor.
Yeah.
And oh my god,
Yeah.
in this, he was like this. He stole the show. He was the
Uh,
opposite. Honestly, he was. It was really fun to see him in a different light. The CGI is one of the best CGIs I've seen
okay.
from Marvel, especially the water scene and the music. Oh, the music is so beautiful. The main thing I love about the music is they incorporate a lot of the harp, and it just feels so whimsical. And oh, I just love it so much. It is, yeah, it's almost perfect, but
Okay.
it's still a really good, solid movie. It's honestly so good to see a Marvel movie back in cinemas. I honestly hope you guys can watch it too, and then
Can.
maybe I can host it, and I want to know what you think. I'm not going to mention. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned this in the beginning. There's no
No
spoilers because
spoilers.
I know a lot of people haven't watched it, so yeah, it's not what I'm saying. It's
You have
not
a.
spoilers. And yeah, I think my last sentence to round it off is please, I know it's really hard right now that everywhere in the world is showing except for Malaysia or Australia, but please just wait until your cinemas are open because honestly, there are many scenes that you need the cinematic experience.
Mhm.
Like when I was watching it, I was like, "There's no way you can watch it on your computer or tablet. You need to watch this in a cinema." I know it's really hard to wait, but just wait for a bit longer for cinemas to open, and it's definitely worth your cinematic experience. Yeah, and also be
Wow.
vaccinated. That's all I can say.
Woo, get vaccinated. So, do you have a
Wow.
rating for us?
Yeah, 7.5 out of
That
Ooh.
low? I
10.
was thinking it was like an 8 or
Hmm.
9 the way
It's
you
so
were
close though.
raving about it.
It's
Wow.
so
You're harsh.
close.
I
I
forgot.
am.
I guess that really kind of levels up my enthusiasm to go and watch this film because Asian representation done right and it's Marvel. Yeah, that's something that's a huge selling point for me. And Aquafina, I'm just like, wow, okay. So she was in Crazy Rich Asians, which at that time
Raya.
was kind of like the biggest at that time, like the breakout Asian film for representation, etc. But I feel like this movie itself might be a better representation the whole film. I don't know, we shall see, but yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm so excited, intrigued to hear that 45% of the film is not spoken in the English language. That is absolutely
Yeah, me too.
fascinating. Can't wait for this movie. Hopefully, I get to see it, I think in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks. As soon as I land, the first thing I'm doing, not to my accommodation, I'm going straight to the cinema.
With your luggage.
Yeah, with the luggage.
So I guess that wraps it up. Thank you all for joining us on this episode.
Bye, guys.
Do we have anything else to talk about?
Oh
Thanks for the
yeah.
wonderful
I
wrap
don't
up
think
of the
so. That's kind of
movie.
it, you know.
Yeah,
Just
that's
okay, I
it.
guess we'll talk about this episode of What If. Very generally, I thought it was a good. This probably I would say in the top tier episodes for me. What if Killmonger saved Tony Stark? I was interested in the storyline. I love seeing a lot of the main the actors come back to voice their characters. Hopefully, there's a part two because I felt it was a bit unfinished. I always love seeing Chadwick Boseman uh, when we can get him because he's not going to be in Black Panther 2. So, yeah, that's all I have to really say about this episode very generally. But yeah, I'll pass it to Jang first. What do you think of this episode?
It's alright. It's just
Yeah,
alright.
it's all right.
No, like
It's all right.
usually I take notes about the episode and I'm trying to like find like Easter eggs and stuff like that. But it was so okay. Like I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I was just sitting there. I was I wasn't like so bored until I was playing my phone, but I wasn't like into it either. I was just kind of just sitting there like okay. So then he did that and then after the whole thing it just ended kind of cliffhangery. And because of that we don't know what happened. So I was just like, oh well. So that one I
Oh,
really don't have much to say. It like really it wasn't bad. Definitely wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It was so okay.
really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm
Yes.
surprised. But let's see. How about you, Mel?
Well, I sort of share the same feeling as January. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. I just felt rather lukewarm about it. I feel like I was kind of annoyed most of the time, not with
Why?
the production, etc.,
Mm,
but just with the characters themselves. I'm just
yeah.
like, Tony Stark, you can't be that stupid.
It was
But
that dumb. What?
I
Which
don't
part?
know. I just felt like
I like
you
his
could have
plan here.
detected, a little bit that Killmonger was sus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
way he kind of allowed Killmonger to lead him all the way to when he stabbed him, and he was like, "Oh, I thought it was just you and me against the world." I'm like, no. um, I guess I don't know. Maybe it's just the time of day. I guess maybe that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but it's not a big issue for me,
All right.
actually.
Cool.
Just
How about you, Fizz?
being picky.
You
Yeah.
got lukewarm, lukewarm. Really liked it. Where do you fall on the spectrum?
Really don't
Really
like
hate it.
it.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
I
really
I
See.
expected that. At least we have a spectrum. That's great. But why don't you
I
like it, Fez?
I don't like it because I felt like we got nothing out of the storyline. It was just
Oh.
so bland. Like the character interaction was bland. Are we gonna go to the negatives now?
Yeah, just go in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go
all
right.
right, let's
Have
Not
go
at
much
it.
to
in. Let's
say.
go
Nothing much
in.
to
Let's
say,
Let's
so
dive
go
just
right
say
into
in.
it,
everything.
you know?
All right, yeah,
It sounded like
A
a
huge
parliament
dive.
back there with all everyone talking over each other. Young woman,
Young woman.
tidak hormati dewan ini, Fez. Anda tolong dengar
stand up,
kakak.
stand up. Yeah, I just found the storyline incredibly dull. Like personally, nothing interesting happened. They just sped up the MCU timeline and just killed two heroes, and that's it. And I felt like, with the show, what if you can really like
Actually, three. They killed a lot. Rhodey?
Oh yeah, Rhodey. I
oh
forgot
You
about that
forgot
guy.
Oh
Rhodey?
yeah.
Oh
Oh, I
my.
forgot about Rhodey as
oops,
well.
oops, oops, so sorry. You see, that's how they don't even make it interesting. Like I think we said this before many times in our What If review. Like you can go crazy with the multiverse and like how it can really affect the timeline. Like there was no severe events after this timeline, like compared to the other episodes. Like we know from the abrupt ending that they're gonna fix it and that's it, which I just felt like that's not enough for me. Yeah, the ending was really abrupt. And at least with the other episodes, even the episode I didn't like, Captain Carter, at least we get to see different sides of the character. Like we see different sides of Carter, Strange, Nick Fury. But with this episode, I felt like we see the same thing. Killmonger is
You're
still
right.
Killmonger. Tony Stark is still Tony Stark. They're still like the same characters in the MCU, except put in a different situation. It was quite disappointing that I didn't get to see a different side of them or get to know them better. It's kind of like the same thing. I felt like the voice acting is quite inconsistent, especially from Tony. I can tell that sometimes
It's
I'm
not.
no, I can tell half the
It's not
time that
Downey.
yeah, I can tell half the time it's not Downey. And okay, and the animation. All right. So Andy Serkis is in this, and no, in Black Panther, he's very expressive with his facial expression when to show his
I made
craziness.
it fine.
Yeah, but like it's not reflected in the animation. Like when I watched him, his face was so stiff, but his voice was so expressive, and it just didn't match that. I just found that really disappointing because he's a very expressive actor, and the fact that that's not reflected on animation, that was quite disappointing for my viewing experience. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Lots. Then lots of people raising their hands. But I just have one quick thing to add before I forget. Did anyone go? That's Gollum. You know when Claw was going or something like. I was like, that sounds like Gollum. That's not Claw. So that's one thing. But let's see, who shall I pick on? Let's go with Jang. Please, you have the floor. Negatives galore. Let's go. Fire.
It's not really a negative. It's just that this story was kind of boring. Like
Mm,
zombies was a very interesting route to
yeah.
go, but
Yeah.
then they didn't do it that well. And then like the Doctor Strange episode was a good story,
Yeah.
and they did it well.
Character.
Yeah, so it worked. But this one was a good, not that good of a story, but they did try really hard to tell it well. So
Mm,
it's really like this story was really sad because like uh it's I don't know, from for me personally it wasn't that interesting. Like just
yeah.
like what Fez said, it was just like like okay.
I felt like it lacked a lot of the surprise element because even though we
Mm,
had the death of Tony Stark, when you compare it to the past episode when they just killed all of the Avengers, like you knew it was coming, you knew that the next Avenger that we're going to see, they're just most likely going to be
mm,
killed. But we kind of expected it with Tony Stark here as well. But I felt like the lead up to it was just so stale. Like we just kind of already knew what Killmonger had in mind. It just felt like, okay, I'm just gonna be watching an entire episode of things that are just completely expected. And I just feel like they didn't really go crazy with it as well. I guess that's what makes it so lukewarm at the same time. And I just didn't really appreciate Pepper Potts. I just felt like even
Really?
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like she didn't look like Pepper Potts, and it didn't
mhm,
help that
yeah.
it wasn't the same voice as well.
Yeah.
It took me like 5 seconds to actually be like, wait, is that Pepper? That's not Pepper. That's Pepper. you know. So
I'll
I
agree
guess
with you
that was
there.
one. And the biggest issue I had with voice acting was Shuri. Her
Alright.
voice sounded like it belonged to
A kid.
a 20-year-old or
Oh.
older woman. But
Yeah.
girl being animated, it is Shuri's face, but oh my god, no kid is gonna sound like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of took me off a little
Yeah.
bit. I don't know if that's just me though, but yeah, those are my 2 cents.
I'm surprised because I thought the only voice actor that pulled me out was Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges, and I was like, yeah, that's not Jeff Bridges. Uh, Paltrow, not really, because I expected she wouldn't come. I thought the Downey voice actor, sorry, the Iron Man voice actor, Tony Stark, I thought he was all right. I was like, it's like he turned the pitch up. You get what I mean? Like he sounds more squeaky,
Mhm.
like, yeah, man, peace, I want peace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, Killmonger, like that. So they just turned his pitch up, but I could see the Downey, not bad. I don't know. I thought it's always fun for me to see Tony Stark because since he's gone, I was rewatching Iron Man 3. I just love his character, and I think they really got the essence there of Tony Stark. You know, seeing him in a different light. What if he didn't go in the cave and was what is it, humbled? I guess, or he saw the effects of the weapon. He was humbled by his experience with the Ten Rings, which Fez has seen more of. I probably want to talk more about that. Oh, tell me all about the Ten Rings. But yeah, I thought it was a very interesting perspective. But I think Fez raised a really good point. Tony Stark was really the only character that changed. No one else really was different, right?
Mm,
That's kind of
yeah.
weird. And if we want to talk about Nexus events and all that stuff, there's no definitive point of why was
Yeah.
Killmonger there? You get what I mean?
Yeah,
Why did
yeah.
it
Oh
matter? What made
yeah.
him decide to
Yeah,
help
yeah.
out Tony Stark besides the whole
Yeah.
intelligence bit? But if I'm gonna move into the positives a bit, I don't know. I thought this episode was extremely. I was invested the whole time because I've really loved Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. I
Mm.
think him and Claw were killed off too soon. I remember when I was watching Black Panther when he shot Claw. Oh, you're crazy, man! You got me. To think you were just a crazy American. I was like, oh, they killed Killmonger, and then at the end, it is an extremely powerful line. My ancestors knew it was better to jump off the boat rather than die in bondage. I'm getting the line
Mm.
all wrong, but that's what you get with me. And when he stabbed him or made the
Oh,
wound even bigger to his heart, I was like, oh god, they killed another one. I was like, oh wow. So it's always nice to see them. Just seeing his schemes, I thought this was an absolutely interesting, great, fascinating plan, and probably a better plan than the one he had in the movie. And I think the scene with Chadwick, Black Panther, and Killmonger at the end on the ancestral plane, I thought that was just really beautiful. Just every time you hear his voice, you just relish it. And another thing, I also really like the animation at the end. The final battle I thought was great. The way it was shade. I don't know much about coloring, but it was visually very well done with the darkness. Felt something very Lord of the Ring esque, if you will. But yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I was intrigued, invested in the storyline, and love seeing Killmonger whenever I can get him, as well as Black Panther and Tony Stark. So yeah, Jang, you have something to say, please.
no, I was just rewatching Black Panther that day, and since you were talking about Chadwick and Black Panther, you know the intro, the Marvel Studios intro
Oh, they
Oh
for
changed
yeah.
it on Disney
Yeah,
Plus,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah. I
oh,
did
they
also
it. Yeah,
changed
saw.
to
it.
It
Chatwick.
was so
Yeah.
nice. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
made me
Yeah,
sad. Yeah.
Black
just a
Panther is
small thing,
good
but I was
music.
like, hey,
Hmm.
like, oh, so that was sweet to see.
I also
And
say, Fez has
yeah,
given me a new perspective, if you will, on Black Panther. I remember the past, I think, 3 or 4 episodes when you just said how much you love this movie and said your reasons why. I was rewatching it as well, and I was
Uh,
like, oh, it might have moved up a bit. Eh, Thank you, Fez. I thought to myself, it
I'm
is
an
a really good movie.
influencer.
influencer. Oh yeah.
Big influence.
But yeah, sorry, Jeng, I cut you off there.
No, I just want to say about the
The
Chadwick.
intro.
That they actually changed it on his birthday. So like when it was his
Oh,
birthday, they changed it to that
Oh,
logo. Yeah.
oh, that's so
oh,
sweet.
That's nice.
yeah.
I hope
That's
I hope they have that intro for Black Panther too. That'd be great.
Ooh, oh my god,
oh,
that'll be
yeah.
so
What
good.
what do you guys think will happen for Black Panther 2?
Hey, hey,
Okay.
hey! Save that for the end. Hey, hey,
Oh,
hey!
okay. Never
Ah.
mind.
That's a final question.
Oh.
Save it for our wrap ups. But let's say no one has anything positive to say about this episode.
Well, I guess one positive that I can think of is I just appreciate how Marvel always takes their time to just kind of like dedicate their episodes or movie to Chadwick Boseman whenever they can. I mean, they did that in the battle today. Today, as if it was a real battle. In the battle of this episode, when they roast their
For
spears and it
TChalla.
said for
I love that.
T'Challa,
Made me
I
smile.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ooh, and one more thing. Going back to negatives, the way Michael B. Jordan said "Wakanda Forever" was so
Oh,
awkward.
okay.
It's like
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wakanda Forever. I was like,
that's the one thing I'm getting from this show so far is that in
Wakanda
every episode
Forever.
there's always going to be a line or two that's said so
Just,
awkwardly,
Yeah.
but nothing's going to top the zombie
just
episode
one of it.
when
Yeah. Oh no.
I forgot what
There's
she
a
said, my
lot.
king, what Wakanda forever, and she just died.
Uh,
That one was really awkward.
Yeah, I do agree with Mel for the positives. It's just so it's always great to see Chadwick Boseman on screen, no matter what screen it is. It's really great to see him, especially as his character, Black Panther. I really love that near the ending when he was telling Killmonger, like, is it worth it for all this? I like the incorporation of the Black Panther music. There wasn't much compared to I can't remember which What If. Oh, the episode 2 there was more incorporation of the music compared to this one, but I still like the incorporation. And you see, I like the depth that it tried to go to. Like when Rhodey was telling Killmonger, I like this quote a lot as part of
right,
the
the system.
yeah, part of the system is to change the system. You can't just I don't know how to describe it, but I just like the depth that it tried to go there, but it didn't really go fully there. So they tried at least.
It didn't go fully like Killmonger's
Yeah,
spear.
It didn't.
You
It
gotta go all
didn't.
the way. Jane, did you have any positives? Anything you like? What you like?
What you like?
Just the
What you like?
usuals lah. The actually the animation.
Animation.
Yeah, no, but
Animation.
actually I agree with Fez. A few times it was a bit
Oh,
fishy, but like yeah, the battle scene was fine. No,
Mm.
yeah, no, I mean it was good. Like everything was, yeah, but yeah, this
see, I
show
have.
why is it so like okay now? What happened? What happened?
You
I just
make
don't
it
care
either
already.
really bad or really good. There's
I
always
feel like
Yeah.
that's the thing because the whole animation world is still new to Marvel, and I feel like their specialty is
Mm.
actually. I think the actors,
Mm.
voice acting is a completely different medium, and I feel like they're able to express themselves a whole lot stronger when it comes to actual acting. I think especially with Killmonger, because in the Black Panther movie, when I saw him, I was like, wow, this dude is like really cool, so intimidating, etc. But when it came to the show, it didn't really come across as that. I felt like it wasn't really expressed to his full potential. I guess mainly because we missed that OST that always plays whenever his character comes on
dun
screen
dun
in the
dun
actual
dun.
movie. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a part of it as well. But
Dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun.
I guess animation is still completely new to Marvel. And
Yeah,
Did you?
if they wanted to, right, like no, like someone who's watching, like maybe they just bought Disney Plus or something. Like if I were them and I was looking at
Mm.
like what if, I won't watch all of them. I would just pick the ones
Ah.
that sound interesting. Like, oh, what if Doctor Strange
mm,
lost his heart instead of his hand? Like,
Ah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
and then
If he
like
lost
this
his heart, he
Killmonger
wouldn't
one,
be
I'm
able
just
to
like,
live.
yeah, that's why when I first saw the
Title.
name of the episode, I was like, heart. And then it's like, oh, Christine. Oh, okay,
Proceed.
okay. I get what you mean now. But yeah, those are more interesting. Like this Killmonger one, definitely like, like it was. I think it's even more like than Captain Carter. Captain Carter was
Wow.
Mm.
one of
Yeah,
the
cause
more
mm,
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
So what
mega
was the mega? We need a new rating system. How
eh.
is it? Not so
It's a
quite
it's it's a good thing that they're churning out a lot of good products as well, especially this year, along with what if, because what I was about to say what you think, but what if feels like a side dish, you know?
Yeah.
If
Mm.
if it's to the point where nothing's being released this year and it's just what not what you think and it's just what if, I would be sad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Oh, that would be
yeah.
awful.
they
Sorry.
timed this really well.
let's see
Yeah,
how
there's just like
Star
a
Wars.
buffer time between like Loki and Hawkeye.
Okay.
So then
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
now
And then
let's show some of this in for
and
them
then in
to have fun with.
between there's Black Widow and Shang-Chi if people
Mm.
can watch it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have a question. Did you like Black Widow more or Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi, so
Oh.
sorry.
Huh?
Shang-Chi.
That
Oh.
was easy.
So sorry.
That was
That's
easy.
alright.
Shang-Chi, man. Wait,
Sorry, Scott.
have you guys seen like the trailer for for like what if for like the
Oh
second
yeah, I
half? Have
saw
you seen it?
that.
What did you guys think of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I'm
Alright.
just like,
Just like,
nah.
oh, that's we haven't seen that. Haven't seen that. Alright.
Yeah, I was
Never
like,
seen that.
I think also that's like my main worry about. That's why when they announce all these shows, like I thought some of them will be released next year, but the fact that they're releasing a lot this year, that was the one thing I was worried about. Is that if they're going to release so much, is it going to affect the quality of the work? Like I think I can definitely see in what if that. Oh, like it kind of like if you again quality, not quantity. If you release so much, it might affect the quality. So now I'm a bit like iffy about like if they're really rushing to release all these shows. I don't know why they're rushing, but I hope. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like they're rushing to release a lot of shows at once this year. That it's kind of like too much for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Well,
also don't
yeah.
understand why they chose to do certain
Mm.
stories like this Killmonger one. Like,
Yeah.
why? Like, why? It's not even that.
Were they trying to follow the comics, or was
I
it like
don't
they just
know.
completely
I know
wrote it
zombies.
themselves?
There's zombies in the comics, but this
Yeah,
one I have no
zombies is
idea. This
comics.
would be
Yeah,
original.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
I think Captain Carter is also comics.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
The Doctor
yeah,
Strange might be, right?
yeah,
Because
But they're so
could
based
be.
on the movies, so
oh
who knows at
yeah.
this
Yeah,
point?
yeah, it's really based on the
It's
movie.
probably
So like,
original. It's probably just original. I wouldn't be surprised, except for the zombie one. But Yeah, we don't have anything else to talk about when it comes to this episode, which I thought was a lot of fun. I was invested in the story because I like the characters. I think the most interesting thing here is when they kill Black Panther, right? T'Challa, because I guess we know for a fact that he's not going to be in Black Panther 2. So, as Jang alluded to earlier, he was the Flash a bit, if you will. How do you think they're going to deal with the passing of Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther 2? We know they're not going to recast him, so it looks like
Yeah.
they're actually going to acknowledge it. What do you guys think? Because I was sad when he Oh, I love the use of the sonic boom from Iron Man. I like that small little callback. Stark R&D is no joke. It's like that's from Iron Man 2008. I know. Clap, clap. I recognize. But yeah, what? How do you guys think they're gonna deal with that? I'm gonna pass it to the biggest Black Panther fan here, Fez, the three
Ooh,
Z's.
way to put me on the spot. I
Hey,
think
hey, hey! I gave you questions in advance. Hey, 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 hey!
no,
You
it's
had
true. It's
time.
true. Oh, I thought about everything except for this one. I think they will acknowledge and I think they will explore Wakanda more. I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna explore Wakanda and I guess give more showtime and explore more of the side characters. And yeah, I really don't know how they're gonna do it because I'm just like thinking about it because I really don't know how, but
It's gonna be a lot.
I
Mhm.
think so far, I think they're just gonna address his death and they're just gonna explore Wakanda more and explore the
Okay.
side characters more, which I still have high hopes. So yeah.
I
Mel?
have no idea. I have no idea how they're gonna do another Black Panther movie without the Black Panther. Recasting would be the worst thing they could do. So no
Yeah, they're
recasting
Yeah.
for
not. Yeah, they're
sure.
not.
But
100%.
no matter what they're planning to do, we're definitely going to feel the loss.
Mhm.
But how are they going to try to bridge that loss? I have no idea. Like, who's going to be the main person? I mean, if Shuri's the main
Yeah,
person, I
that's
guess
what
that
I'm
would be
thinking.
kind of cool.
Mhm.
She's definitely a fan favorite from the movies as well because of her energy, etc. But I don't know. Just talking about it, I feel like I'm just gonna watch it mainly because I'm really curious to see how they're gonna
Curious.
cope with
Mm-hmm.
this as a
Mm-hmm.
company. But
What?
yeah, the loss is there for sure.
How about you, Jang?
I I think that uh, recasting will be the most
But they're not doing it.
seamless way. Yeah, I know they're
Yeah.
not doing it, and I don't say that they should, but like in terms of the story,
Yeah.
like you could continue like normal if you just pretend nothing happened, but at the same time it's not right to pretend nothing happened.
Yeah.
So like it's you they can't. I think they could do something with the timeline, maybe like a look, like maybe some shit happened in the timeline that messed up something, and for some reason T'Challa just disappeared, or they can
No.
do something like that. But still not like I won't. Yeah, you can't do the Black Panther movie without Black Panther. So like even if like what Fez say they explore the side
Yeah.
characters, that's just like a TV show already.
Oh
It's just like
no.
talking
I
about
see
the
what you
side.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like like yeah, really you can't recast, but at the same time it's the best. Uh, yeah,
That's
it's really I
Oh
don't.
my goodness.
What are they gonna do?
Uh
you asked that question. So you would have
yeah, you're
answers
the
for
one
him.
that came
No,
up
yeah,
with the group chat, Mo.
No, you jumped the gun just now, so I was thinking you
yeah. I
you
want
were
to know what
busy.
you guys want to. I don't
Okay,
know myself. That's why I
you
asked.
don't know. Okay, okay.
I just want to add, what they do in Star Wars, as lot as we've seen, is that they will put a CGI or a CGI.
It
Like,
it wasn't
I,
bad.
I,
It was decent.
I don't want
But
that.
again,
I honestly do not want
Yeah,
that in this because I don't know, it just feels so wrong. It
yeah.
doesn't feel right. If they do the CGI of Chadwick Boseman in Wakanda Forever, I will not approve. But yeah, I just hope
they're
they
not
don't
doing
do that
that. Yeah,
because I really hope
it's
they
that.
don't do it because it's out of respect.
How about you, Mel?
Sorry, I had to mute myself because I had to kill an ant.
Yeah.
You're a
But anyway,
killmonger. Kill ant.
Cute.
Melissa,
but
kill ant. Dun 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 dun.
I was
Mhm.
just about to bring up a similar point to Fez as well because it reminded me of the Hunger Games when Philip Seymour Hoffman
Oh yeah, but
unfortunately
it was
passed before the
minor.
last movie. But that was a
Oh.
very minor thing. But from what I've heard, it was CGI.
No,
Just
no, they just
tad
got.
bit,
I think they just
tad
played
bit,
around.
or
Oh no, he was supposed to deliver the letter or talk to Katniss at the end. So
oh
instead, they
yeah,
got
Mm,
Haymitch to
yeah,
do it. That's what they did,
mm.
right,
and it was a
yeah,
very a minor role anyway. But
yeah.
yeah, the Carrie Fisher thing in Rise of Skywalker, I just remembered. You can tell some of it's
Mm.
very awkward. Like one of my favorite parts in the movie is when Rey goes, "Master, I have something to tell you," and she goes, "Tell
Tell
me."
me.
So yeah, that's not from the movie. We
Mhm.
know.
I guess maybe not CGI, but maybe bringing up past scenes of Chadwick Boseman. I think that would be really
Mm.
nice. But I do
Yeah.
agree, CGI just wouldn't feel right, especially with a film that is just so authentic right from the start. Like authentic of, I mean, like, yeah, I know it's a whole made up world with like planes and stuff, but I meant like in regards to emotions and the delivery
Yeah,
of the acting and the lines. It just wouldn't feel right and not great for his legacy, I think, because he's a great actor.
I think
Obviously,
they're
not to
probably
stress.
going to not acknowledge his passing, but it will be quite powerful for the movie to start with heroes having to deal with real life issues like cancer, right? Like
Ooh,
just
that could
dealing with the
be.
fact
Mm.
T'Challa actually
Mm.
had cancer and passed away, and then that leaves the whole power vacuum. I think that's probably the best way to deal with it, just to acknowledge it head on, because we all know. So if they start going like, T'Challa was replaced in the timeline, and then Eric Killmonger was actually T'Challa in another timeline. So now Michael B. Jordan is back. Just like it would leave a bad taste in your mouth, right? So
Yeah, it
why
Yeah.
don't
would.
just head on acknowledge the passing of Chadwick Boseman by having T'Challa pass away? And we never seen that in a superhero movie, right? Where dies of natural causes. I think it would be
Mm.
very raw, and part of what made the Black Panther the first movie so
Yeah.
powerful was its authenticity. As no Mel said, it's what did you say? Authenticity, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
authenticity.
it's not authenticity,
Yeah.
but it came from a
The
very powerful
rawness.
place. Yeah, dealing
Yeah.
with real world issues. When I was rewatching
Yeah.
Black Panther, I was like,
Yeah.
it's very political, dealing with all the
Yeah.
various viewpoints. That's why I love that movie. But I'll just add
Yeah.
one more thing. One of the things I'm not for me, Black Panther, I feel is a top tier Marvel movie, but it's just not quite there because it's kind of like two movies, right? One, you have this James Bond spy movie in the beginning, and then you have the Wakanda dealing with that world. And I think that movie is far more interesting to me. So I really hope they dive deeper into Wakanda. It is called Wakanda Forever, right? I don't really
Mm-hmm.
want to see the exploits in the outside world. It just wasn't
Yeah.
as interesting to me as much as I love Ulysses Law. Andy Serkis was a delight. But yeah, any other things that you want to see from Black Panther 2? I think Jang just rewatched it recently. So yeah, are there any points of the first Black Panther movie that you wish could be improved on?
Not not really. No, but
Not
no, I,
really.
I was just no, I think what you said is actually really smart.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge that he died. Like,
Yeah.
like that there is a time jump from like
Mhm.
Endgame until Wakanda Forever. So you can just say that yeah lah, he just died of cancer. That's it. And then yeah, that's
That power
actually
vacuum is
the
very
very
interesting,
yeah,
right?
is
It's that's a story in itself.
yeah.
Then you can have Mbaku going, Jabari
If
tribe is about to
No,
return.
no, yeah,
Glory
and
to
if
that's the
Hanuman.
thing
yeah.
because he was gone. T'Challa was gone when he got snapped away. So what happened to Wakanda when
Oh,
he got snapped away? So to me, what I always thought happened was that M'Baku took over lah.
Shuri? Oh. Ha
Like,
Mm.
ha ha. Hoo ha
like
ha.
yeah, I would think Shuri is either Shuri or M'Baku. No,
No, Shuri got snapped. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
she
she got
gone
snapped.
also. Yeah,
It's only
so
Okoye
yeah,
that was left.
Okoye and M'Baku lah. So to me,
Mbaku, yeah.
M'Baku makes the most sense. Like what happened lah. So yeah, you just that's actually the best way to do it. Just say like he died. That's it. That's it. Just settle already.
Deal it with it
If
straight
if
on.
they come up with a different story as to why T'Challa's not there, I'm gonna snap.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Snap
that's
your fingers.
yeah. No, but Momo's way is actually the nicest I've heard so far.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
say, time jump. It's been a year, and he just got cancer and died in that year. Sorry, and then just continue, because like you can't replace him. You can't say like, oh, he went away. Like you know like when Paul Walker died for
That was
Fast and
good.
Furious. No, that was they were already hinting like he wants to leave this life. He wants to spend time with his friends. So like they can easily like kind of like oh they like in the movie they didn't say he died, they just say that he went away. So like but
You can't do that here, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do
T'Challa
that.
went
He's
for a
the
holiday to Langkawi. That doesn't really work.
he went to Langkawi and just never came back. So yeah, he's the main character, and they hinted at nothing about like he's gonna go away
Mm.
or he's gonna do anything. So yeah, just say he died. That's really the Momo, you solved it. Easy.
How about you, Fez? Yeah.
I think that yeah, now when I'm thinking about it, what I really want in Black Panther 2 is definitely for it to show or like how I explain this. Yeah, like show that message. So the reason why I love Black Panther so much was because it really portrayed the message about how you shouldn't like how running away from the past and like not accept
Acknowledging the faults. Yeah, that was beautiful.
acknowledging the fact. I
Mm.
thought that was so powerful, which is why
Okay,
I
yeah,
loved
you're
it so much.
right.
It was a simplistic message, and that was why I had problems with Shang-Chi, because Shang-Chi, you can't help but compare Shang-Chi to Black Panther because they're very similar in terms of like different
Fathers
aspects,
and
especially the
sons,
message.
world
And I
building.
just felt like Shang-Chi, they wanted to do too many things at the same time. They wanted to focus on a lot of messages, which is why it was kind of not perfect compared to Black Panther, where it only had one message, which is to acknowledge the faults and kind of accept it, and how would you resolve from it. So I hope in Black Panther 2 they have also this simplistic message, which hopefully I will be
It's more
engaged
resonant, right?
by.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It makes
would.
it more resonant and impactful. But I think Black Panther 2 is coming out in 2023 or 2020. Yeah, 2023. The next one
Oh.
movie is after
Mm.
Spider-Man. Can we get a clap for Spider-Man?
Yes,
Eh,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think it was slated to be released in 2023. But yeah, I'm so excited to see what they do with it. I have all the faith in Ryan Coogler. But yeah, keep it
Mhm.
in Wakanda. I'm just curious to see what happens in that world. So yeah, I
Mhm.
guess that about wraps it up on this episode where we had a lot of opinions, but not much to say because what is there to say? 30 minutes
Yeah.
of eh, I like it. I like Killmonger. I don't like story. It's alright. There's nothing more I can add. So thank you, I guess, for bearing with us, as well as I hope the added flavor that we sprinkle throughout this episode kept you listening and not turning your Spotify off. But please do
We
rate,
didn't
review.
sprinkle it, we vomited it out.
Please do rate us, review us on Apple Podcasts, engage with us on our YouTubes. And we have an Instagram page, What You Think Podcast, as well as a Twitter page for some reason.
Ooh.
a
Is there some
burner,
reason?
a burner Twitter account, as I say. So yeah, this has been Momo, and I'm signing off for Fez, Jang, and Mel. Au revoir. See you on next week's, hopefully not underwhelming or meh or episode of What If.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.